Now, good evening and welcome to the April 20th meeting of the Community Service Commission. Unfortunately, physical attendance by the public cannot be accommodated given the current circumstances and the need to ensure the health and safety, of course, of the city staff and the public as a whole. We are hoping that we will be back in chambers next month, so check that out. And shall we have a call to order? Roll call. And then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Sure. Commissioner Gonzowski.
Here, present.
Commissioner Roof.
Present.
Commissioner Reish.
Here.
Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Commissioner Vecchione.
Here.
Vice Chairperson Allen.
Present.
And Chairperson Avery.
Present.
All right, everyone is present.
Commissioner Reish, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand and put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Good to see everybody. Okay, let's start with the consent calendar. Are there any items on the consent calendar you'd like to remove?
Madam Chair, should I do a public comment first?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. This is a public comment that came in. Dear chairpersons and commissioners, my name is Kathleen Burke, and I've lived in our wonderful city for 29 years. And I would like to address a passionate topic for your new business agenda consideration in the following. Good neighbors come in all colors was a 1960s human rights and fair housing promotion in Southern California. Many cities and states have since promoted this agenda, although not much attention has been given to it until now. I propose to reenact this idea in our city of Mission Viejo because of the current national and severe racial unrest and extend the community of character agenda. We need to physically show that our city is taking advanced steps or active steps to stop racial pollution, make an anti-racist stance in support of those who have suffered due to the racially motivated behavior and violence. I would like to commit my time and resources to help spearhead this opportunity under the City of Mission Viejo leadership and guidelines. Thank you for consideration. Attached is a copy of the bumper sticker that was used during the Open Housing Week in 1960s, not sure of the exact date. Thank you again for your consideration, and I look forward to your response. I'll hold that up. I don't know if you can see it on my screen. Oops, it just turned, sorry. I don't think that's gonna work.
I don't either.
But it says, good come in all colors.
Okay.
Good neighbors come in all colors.
Okay, and back to the consent calendar. Are there any items any commissioner wishes to pull?
Madam Chair, I'd like to pull item number 1, the minutes.
Thought you might. Okay. All right, we might as well.
And I move to do the rest of the calendar.
I second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, raise your hand. Looks like everybody. Okay, it passes. And back to item number 1.
Yes, Madam Chair, I did watch the meeting, listen to all the reports and everything that was going on, but I would like to pull that item so that I can abstain because I was not present.
Okay. Do we have a motion to pass the minutes from last meeting?
So moved.
Seconded?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye. Oh,
Okay, that's everybody. Passes
With one
unanimously.
with one
Except for
abstention.
Abstention by Commissioner Allen. Okay, fabulous. And then we go right into our director's reports. Library and Cultural Services. Genesis, how are you?
Good evening, everybody. So you've seen my report. I'll do a couple of quick things. We've launched some new virtual exhibits. We're using a new software called Pass It Down that has a lot of options for creating virtual art exhibits, local history, various different things. So you can check out our local history photo timeline in there. And we're going to have a whole bunch of arts related exhibits launching. We're using it for our Comic Fest virtual art showcase and our grant funded Moon Over Mission Viejo art exhibit that with community submitted art pieces. So take a minute and check those out. And there's going to be more exhibits launching in the coming weeks and months. But just wanted to give you a heads up about that. We added a virtual version of our sensory story time. It kind of took us a while to work out how to do that exactly because sensory story time tends to be very hands-on and tactile. But we created some kits that people could either pick up or print out and make at home to go along with the activities in the story time. And so we're really excited to have a virtual version of that. And that's live on, it's up on Facebook. That it's pre-recorded so that people have time to, watch it at their own convenience. We are now open for passport appointments, starting with 2 days a week, Thursdays and Saturdays. We're booked up about a month in advance. There's been a lot of demands now for passports. So we're excited to have that back up and running, and we'll be adding hours to our passport services as quickly as we can. Virtual Comic Fest is going on right now. Well, actually, it starts in about 20 minutes. So every night this week, we are having virtual Comic Fest presentations. We had to cancel Comic Fest last year. It was a big disappointment. And so this year we decided at the least we'll do it virtually. And we've got some great programs and presentations lined up. So check that out some evening this week. You can just shoot us an email. We'll get you the link to check that out, or you can also check the library's Facebook page for that. And we have some great Writers Presents coming up, virtual programs with authors like Lauren Weisberger, who wrote The Devil Wears Prada, and Kevin Kwan, who wrote Crazy Rich Asians, among other things. So some really popular authors coming. We're excited about that. And then I wanted to just let you know that, so right now the library is open by appointment, Tuesday through Saturday. And as of April 30th, we will be open without appointments, and we're opening up some additional services. So we still have limited hours. We're in the process of hiring more hourly staff so that we can expand our hours as soon as we can. But in the meantime, we are going to be doing both curbside and open to the public Tuesday through Saturday, noon to 5. And we will have public computers available. The South Wing is reopened for browsing. We will have some study seating available, but staggered for distancing. Public computers are available, but staggered for distancing. So there's still some regulations in place that we have to, keep in mind. Everybody will have to be masked inside the building. Everybody has to keep, 6 feet apart from people who are not in their own household. But we're really excited to be able to reopen and reestablish a lot of the services that we've been without for a long time. So that's great news. We're really excited. We're in full court press to get everything ready. It's just really, really exciting. We've been getting a lot of feedback from people when we posted it on news and Facebook, and people are thrilled. But we've also gotten a lot of people saying, please continue curbside. We love it. It's so convenient. So we have no plans to stop that. It's working really well. It's a great convenient service. So we are definitely going to keep doing that as well. So that's kind of the big plan that we're doing right now. We're very excited. The Friends of the Library are also working on plans for starting to accept donations again. They'll be reopening the bookstore tentatively in June. We're confirming a couple of dates, but we'll probably have some donation drop-off days in May. things like that. We've been getting lots of questions about those. So an announcement will go out very soon about that as well with all of the relevant dates. But we're starting to move forward and really excited about all the good changes that are happening. So that's it for me, and unless you have any questions.
That is good news. We're beginning to open. How do you handle the appointments? How many people for an appointment?
So what we do is an appointment is good for an individual or a family unit or household unit. So it's not a specific number of people. And we just use the number of appointments. We estimate during, busy hours, there's an average of about 4 to 5 people per appointment. And in the earlier hours, it's typically fewer. The afternoon hours tend to be when the families come in. So we would just do a smaller number of appointments during the afternoon hours to stay within the capacity limit, and a larger number of appointments during the earlier hours. And that worked out really well. But we're at the point now where there's actually no longer a capacity limit that we have to limit to. So that's why we're getting rid of the appointments. And but it worked well for sort of staggering the flow of people through the building when we had to really be careful about the capacity. It's a very simple online system and reminds people when their appointment's coming up and things like that. So it kind of reduces the amount of no-shows that we have. And it's worked out well. But
that's the biggest question people ask is, when is the library opening? So that is really.
We're really excited. Yeah, appointments are fine, but it's really great to be able to just open the doors and welcome people back. So yeah, it's a good milestone to hit. It feels, really nice to be there.
Thank you, Genesis. Are there any questions? Commissioner?
Yes, Genesis, just want to congratulate you on the sensory story time. I think that's really thinking outside the box, and a lot to do to get the sensory things together. Yeah. My question is, how often do you change that story? Does it,
so we do like sensory story time. Yeah, sensory story time was a monthly program before, and it's going to be a monthly, virtual monthly program as well. And then we'll see how demand goes. If there's a lot of interest, we may be able to do them more often. But for now, it's monthly. So,
did most people come and pick up the supplies, or did they have them send you to them and they did them themselves?
That's a good question. I know we definitely did some that were picked up through curbside, but I'm not sure what the percentage is. I don't know if we have a count of people who printed them at home, because that was just a link and I haven't gotten stats on how many clicks that got. So I'm not sure, but I can try and find that out for next month. It'd be interesting.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions? Okay, thank you, Genesis. All right, Mr. Mark, Recreation and Community Services update, please.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. This is probably one of the shortest reports we've ever put together and given to you, but that does not mean that we aren't doing things. And I have to be very complimentary of staff for continuing to reinvent themselves and the processes and the procedures that we're implementing. There's still a lot of stuff that's going on at our facilities. More and more people keep coming back to play pickleball, play tennis, to swim. As we're expanding our hours, we're being able to bring more people back into our facilities, which is awesome. It's great to see some more familiar faces coming back that haven't been around with us for some time. They're ready. But what I'd like to highlight is our next event that's coming up, which is virtual. It's the Memorial Day ceremony, so you'll be able to watch that at home comfortably. We're doing 2 versions. Actually, we have the normal version like we did last year, the virtual Memorial Day ceremony, but we also are doing one with a signer. So Commissioner Josh Becchioni helped us get a signer, and Leslie's stepped up and taken the lead, because our normal staff person that does that, well, it's vacant. But Leslie's jumped in and she's helped us, so she's helping us put that event on. And her and Drew are helping with our tribute banners that are going to go up in the parking lot between the library and City Hall again, so you can drive through and see those banner displays, the American Hero tribute banners. So those should be going up for the month of May. And Leslie has a whole bunch of other little bells and whistles that you'll learn about as we get closer to the event, on some themes and some things that she's going to highlight during that hour presentation for the community. As far as our facilities, I let you know earlier that we're reopening the Norman P. Murray Center on May 3rd, which is great. It's we're going to do a soft opening, which is Monday through Friday, roughly 8 to noon. And then for our community groups and HOAs and some of our smaller groups that rent the facility, we're going to open up Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 5 to 9 p.m. so we can get some rental revenue coming in, plus give them a place to meet. We're going to start with smaller events because we're still in the tiered system, which prevents us from, going back to normal as far as occupancy in each of the rooms. So right now we're working at a 20% or 25 rather % occupancy in those rooms. So I know our rental office is busy trying to get some people that have wanted to come back into there, which will be great. The revenue will help us hopefully expand some of our other programs and facilities. We are gearing up, or we're constantly opening up more of our facilities further at the recreation and tennis centers. Those have been very popular to have some additional hours there. Liddy likes to let me know that we aren't getting as many complaints because people can't get their spots anymore. So now we have enough availability. So people are getting their swim times, they're getting court times, which is all great, all headed in the right direction. It's been awesome to have some of our HSTs returning, our part-time staff that we haven't seen in over a year, to help us with our expanded hours. So that's going great. Over at Montenoso, we are leaving the outdoor fitness equipment for a while. Liddy's working with our public services department to do some improvements inside the facility while the equipment's out. So you'll see some new flooring in there and maybe some paint. I don't know, maybe a nice fuchsia. I don't know. But yeah, so we're going to take advantage of the equipment being out of there. And then once that's done, then as it gets into summer here, we'll probably move the fitness equipment back in. Felipe, we're going, I believe, to council the end of the month to get the courts resurfaced there and some dedicated pickleball courts. So that's coming up. So that's great news. And I hope to have an exact date for you for when that's going to happen once it gets approved at the council level. I'll keep you all informed on what's going on. As far as Sierra, everything's status quo except for opening more hours. Right now, the slide, we aren't anticipating opening up the slide this summer. Again, just trying to meet the needs of the community with lap swimming, and we're exploring the idea of getting some family time over there, some open swim, and trying to get creative. And Lydia and her staff are doing a great job coming up with some ideas to how we can quadrant off the pool so families can get in there and splash around a little bit. And then Marguerite Tennis Pavilion is, Dave Borelli over there. He's got some really great ideas in the works, and he's trying to secure some new programs over there, maybe some annual tournaments and coaches trainings and stuff that will bring people here into Mission Viejo, which of course helps us with our economic development efforts and trying to bring outside money into Mission Viejo, which will be great. Plus some pretty cool events that people here in Mission Viejo will enjoy. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll keep you posted as we continue to open up, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, stay safe.
Mark, is there a slim chance that we can have an even abbreviated version of the boutique this year at the senior center, the Murray Center?
I think we're all trying to figure out what's going to happen after this magic June 15th date. My understanding is the tiered system that we're currently in goes away, but we don't know where that takes us. We don't know if after June 15th, it's just wear a mask and everybody come on in and we'll dance like we used to, or if there's still going to be some restrictions. So right now, given the guidelines and our assumptions, we are basically saying no large gatherings through the end of the year, calendar year. So until we see something different or hear something different that it's going to change, we can't commit to something like that. So it just depends with the activities committee how long they can wait for an answer before you got to start planning for that well in advance to get all the crafters and stuff out there. But we'll work with them to see if there's an opportunity to do maybe something outside. And if we can go inside, we'll push it all inside. And if we can't, then it's outside. I don't know. It'll be up to them. That's their event.
Got it. Any questions for Mark? Thank you, Mark. Oh, Commissioner Reish.
Is there any talk about a 4th of July celebration?
Well, I think July 4th is coming up this year, so there will be a celebration. We just don't know what it looks like yet. So that's another question we're trying to get with the activities committee. I think we're going to be setting up a meeting with them shortly. They've already indicated that there will not be a street fair this year, but there is to do the fireworks show. And so we're hoping to get with them real soon so we can talk about it and then finalize what it's going to look like and how we'll do it. But my guess is yes, there will be a fireworks show in Mission Viejo.
Yay. All right.
Yay. Okay. Moving on, we have old business, which is the 2021 Community Service Grants Program.
Okay, well, good evening, everyone. This
Here.
is part 2 of a 2-part follow-up on our annual Community Services Funding Program. And as you recall, back in March, we presented the applications to Commission, and we offered an opportunity for the agencies to address Commission and for you to ask questions of them. So at that meeting, we had 18 of 19 agencies attend. We had one agency not attend, that was Vocational Visions, unfortunately. Since that period in March, staff and a panel of evaluators, basically 3 people, evaluated, scored, and compiled the scoring into a funding matrix based on points. And that's what you're looking at tonight, both noted in your report and in the matrix report. So we use this as a tool to determine funding levels and to distribute the $60,000. So what we're looking at this evening is funding 18 of the 19 agencies based on this point system. So taking a look at your report on Band 1, which provides basically 90% of funding for agencies that score between 90 points and 100 points out of the evaluation tool. We had 5 agencies that will receive 90% of their request. In Band 2, which is 89 to 80 points, 70% funding, we had 5 agencies in that category. Band 3, which is scoring 79 to 70 points, at 50% funding of the request, 5 agencies. And then our funds dropped even a little further to Band 4, which is 69 to 60 points at 30% funding. We had 1 agency. And please make a note, there's a typo there. It says no funding, that's an error. Ron, remove that. Shouldn't be there. We have 1 agency that was funded at that level. And then Band 5, 59 to 50 points at 10% funding with 2 agencies. So using this standard tool and process, we distributed $51,787, and we have a balance of $8,213 this year. This is primarily because 1 agency was disqualified from the process because they had submitted an application for the same program that they were funded by through Community Development Block Grant, CDBG funding. So when they did that, they became ineligible for our community service funding grant. So tonight, the request is for Commission to review and approve the funding recommendations presented and to determine the disposition of $8,213. Whether distributed amongst many agencies, 1 agency, or possibly returning it to the general fund. So that's my report tonight. I'm here to answer questions.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Leslie? Yes, Commissioner Allen.
No, I'd just like to say I did watch all the presentations from the groups that came last month, even though I wasn't there, and they all seem very heartfelt, and everybody needs a lot of money and a lot of things for them to do. I think the process that you guys use, the matrix where you grade them on different stats and whatever, it seems to be very fair and a way to really divide the groups without having any kind of subjective opinion on it. So I'd like to go ahead and move the agencies that was presented to us as is.
I second that.
Okay, and then we'll handle the extra $8,000 separately.
Can
All
that-
in favor?
Can that be put into the motion?
Present it. Who said
Yeah.
that?
I'm asking, can Kathy put that in her motion that we approve what's been submitted to us and the $8,500 put back in the general fund or whatever the case may be? Or does it have to be all in one swoop?
We need to discuss the $8,200.
Well, then, okay.
So all we're doing now is approving the existing plan that the city laid out for us for the majority of the fund. And then we can decide if we're going to put the money back in the general fund or allot it to some other organization.
Okay.
All right, so we have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Ron, did you have your hand up? I missed that. Okay, got it. Okay, unanimous. Okay, so that passes, and now we need to talk about the $8,213. When I was, okay, Commissioner approved.
I'll make the motion that we do not spend that 8213 and put it back into the general fund.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, it passes. And that's
Okay.
it. Wow, that was fast.
Madam Chair, for the record, because it wasn't a unanimous vote there, can you recall what the vote was?
The vote was 6-1.
Okay.
Commissioner Avery, myself, voted no. Okay. And now we're down to commissioner comments. All right, let's start with Commissioner Gonsowski. I wanted to practice saying your name.
Yeah, it sounds good. You did it.
I'm getting
So yeah, for me, I'm very excited to see that also Creek is doing their soft opening on Monday. I am going to go over there and sneak out at lunch and go over and check it out. So I'm excited about that, and I'm pleased to hear that things are starting to open and that the rec centers are getting their much needed improvements such as the floor, etc., and the fuchsia paint. I'm very excited about that. And other than that, that's it for me.
okay. Commissioner Ruth.
Okay, I'm going to give an update on the California Association of Parks, Recreation Commissioner, and board members. That on March 20th, we held our role and responsibility of park commissioners training. We had 19 commissioners from throughout the state of California that were on the training. We even had included our very own Joshua. Thank you, Joshua, for attending. One thing that was interesting is we had one commissioner that next month will be serving his 51st year as a commissioner in the city of San Bruno that felt it's always important. You can always learn something. So he was there. Pretty amazing person. 51 years as a commissioner for the city of San Bruno. My next topic is just out of curiosity, how many people on this call renew or remember Gloria Herr? Okay. Just as an FYI, Gloria Herr was a commissioner for the city of Mission Viejo. She actually had a park named after her in Roland Heights. It was called Gloria Herr Park. The most amazing thing about that is they dedicated that park in, I think it was 1984, while she was still alive. How many parks ever get named after somebody when they're still on Earth? That to me was a remarkable accomplishment because she spent 30 years in Roland Heights, and the County of Los Angeles decided to name a park after her. Pretty amazing, really amazing. It's a 10-acre park. She served as president of CAPR-CBM at one point. She didn't represent the city of Mission Viejo as president. She represented the County of Los Angeles. So anyway, and Gloria passed away January 13th of 2013. Anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that one of our former commissioners actually had a park named after her. My last comment, parks make life better. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Okay, Commissioner Reish.
My big news is that Walter Robert Broughton was born on April 8th, and he made Bob and I grandparents. So we are very excited. And I like to close by saying parks make life better, and I love our town.
Thank you. Commissioner Vicione.
Hello, everyone. Oh, you've got my name down there. There we go. You know, first I want to thank Leslie and the team that put this all together, the band 1 through 5. I know it's a lot of work to do, and it actually, you know, helps us in decision making. But thank you, Leslie, and your team for being so diligent and organized and putting that all together. I know that's a big project. So that's about it for me. I'm looking forward to our Memorial Day virtual that we're actually, for the first time, have a sign language interpreter. So for our deaf community here in Mission Viejo, they will be able to watch this and actually not have to read in closed caption, but see a live sign language interpreter present. So I'm excited about that. So, and parks do make life better. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Smith. That's you.
Oh, yeah, that's me. Okay, thank you. There were a couple things that I did. Commissioner Vecchione and I helped at the Shamrocks for our seniors at the Murray Center. We passed out little mugs. It was a drive-through, and Josh came in all his Irish gala galore, whatever costume. So that was fun. We had, I don't know how many seniors we had come drive through with that, but it was fun to see everybody. They really enjoyed it. Another way that staff helped the people, you know, the seniors had an activity to do. I also did parking lot trivia, which happened last Friday in the Murray parking lot. It was a 70s and 80s trivia, and it was hard. It was hard. I saw all those sitcoms, knew all those songs, but the recall was not as quick as it used to be. So Melanie and staff did a great job. I don't remember how many cars were there. It wasn't a lot. There weren't a lot of people, but everybody had a good time. And I've been helping, as Genesis said, the library's opening and stuff, and I've been helping get the Friends of the Library bookstore kind of up and ready to go too, with getting some donations ready and getting it just organized and stuff. So that's about it. I'm looking forward to meeting back in Chambers next month, and looking forward to the stuff that's happening at the golf course, like 60 seniors, Josh said on the event that we helped at. And like Tricia said, they're going to have a soft opening at the golf course next Monday for breakfast and lunch. So that'll be exciting. And if anybody hasn't wandered up there to take a look at how wonderful it is, just go up. I mean, they've done, it's really, really nicely done. So anyhow, looking forward to seeing everybody next month in Chambers.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioner Allen.
I just wanted to say I watched a lot of the TYR Pro Series swim meet. What a spectacular event it was, with a lot of future Olympians there. And the Aquatic Center showed off so well. I mean, it looks so great on TV. It's like, wow, I can't believe that's in our city. So that was a really great event. And second, I'd just like to say I'm so happy to see the city opening back up with our centers and our recreation centers and the library. And you can just see things are starting to open up and people are starting to be able to see each other. And so that's a great thing. And we get to see each other next month. My last comment is regarding the public comment we have. Mark, don't we have a diversity committee, or I don't know the exact name of it? Would that be something that we would share with them, or I don't know how that works?
Certainly, I can take the message to it's the Mission Viejo Diversity and Inclusion Task Force. And we meet on the first Wednesday of the month. So yes, I will share this information with the task force and see where it goes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, you're muted.
There you go.
I figured you guys didn't really need to hear me. Yeah. No. I wanted to thank Leslie also, because I know that is a lot of work and you definitely made our job so much easier and equitable. So thank you for all that work. And I can't imagine sitting down with the 7 of us and having us try to decide where the money's going. So good job to the city. Also, the diversity letter, I think to take an active position on diversity in our city is a very good thing. So I do hope that we can pursue that and look into that, wherever that goes. I like the letter. So, and other than that, parks make life better, and I look forward to seeing more parks as things open up. Everybody have a great month. We'll see you in Chambers next month. Yay. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone. Thanks.